Is it abuse or is it just annoying? Today we're talking about seemingly benign behaviors like joking, sarcasm, tickling, hair-mussing, forgetting. As a therapist, I've seen behaviors like this used as major abuse tactics, but victims may not recognize them as abuse or be afraid to name them as abusive because doing so sounds so petty. So, are behaviors like this annoying or are they abuse? How can we tell? Here's 3 criteria that help me to make that call. The first criteria is the power dynamic in the relationship. Is there a person who has all the power? Financial, spiritual, social, emotional? And does that person use these benign behaviors to retain or create power for themselves? For example, do they forget and thereby repeatedly ruin their target's plans for the day? And does all their forgetting mean that they never really partner as an adult in a relationship? When it comes to things like joking and sarcasm, sometimes an abuser just needs to make his spouse feel crazy in order to prove to himself that he has power over her. In an abusive relationship, the abuser does not operate in good faith. The abuser is interested in power for himself. Our second criteria is impact on the target. How does the behavior impact the victim over time? I say this to clients all the time. I don't really care if you were hit by a train or if it was a falling tree. I'm just interested in healing the hurt. And the evil genius behind these benign behaviors is that the abuser can claim to be in the clear. I was just kidding. Everybody forgets. But my stance as a therapist is that if a history of forgetting or history of joking has left its victim feeling half dead, then that forgetting or that joking is abusive and it needs to stop. And that brings us to our third criteria for looking at whether it's abuse, and that is the inability of an abuser to take responsibility for themselves. When we tell someone that their behavior is causing us harm, they should take responsibility, they should stop it, and they should change. That's how people operate in good faith. But an abusive person will either deny that there's a problem or blame the victim, or sometimes both, or they'll say that they're sorry, sometimes with an enormous show of emotion, but they never change. So another thing I say a lot to clients is that behavior is a language, and if words and behavior don't match, always believe the behavior. If seemingly benign behaviors have crossed the line from annoying to abusive, it's time to consider what healthy boundaries need to look like. I'm completely supportive of leaving a relationship that is subject to any type of abuse, even benign abuse like forgetting and joking. So when you're making that call, consider the power dynamic that's present in the relationship, consider the impact that behavior is having, and think about the responsibility gauged by behavior. If you want to think more about these topics, here are some books. The Verbally Abusive Relationship by Patricia Evans, No Visible Wounds by Susan Miller, and one of our favorites, Should I Stay or Should I Go by Lundy Bancroft. I know these things are tough to think about, but I hope that helps you like it has helped me. Okay.